Dyer, and I'm a web developer in Dallas, Texas. And I have the privilege of getting to show you some Bible software from the Digital Bible Society. In this case, this is a multi-column Bible app that we call inScript. And what it does is it runs in any browser. So in this case, I'm using Google Chrome. But it would run really on any browser, on any device. And it allows you to have a multi-column set of Bible software here. I'm showing some Greek text over here and two different English texts. There's also a number of other texts here, like the Arabic version, which displays from right to left, Spanish versions, even a version that requires a custom font to display it. And here's a Russian version. So really any version of any text can appear in here. I'm going to switch back here to King James just to highlight some additional features. But the number of columns is really unlimited. You can both remove columns and also add columns back. If you'd like to not have them scroll together as you see, you can unclick this lock, and that will allow a column to scroll independently of the other ones. I'm going to lock this back up. And what you may have been noticing is that as I move my mouse around on here and I highlight a verse, that corresponding verse is highlighted in the other versions, as well as in certain texts corresponding words. So the word here is highlighted across all of the versions. As I move along here, I can see that all of those kinds of words are going to be highlighted. And if I click on those, I can get a nice Greek definition that's going to tell me what the underlying Greek is. And I can continue to scroll throughout this and find the notes and cross-references that you see in most versions. And if I want to navigate through this text, so even if I just want to move one verse down, I can type that in. And if I'm not sure about the language, I can click on this and get a list of language options. For that, all the names of those texts, of the books in whatever language I'm using. So if I want to skip throughout and head back up to Luke, I can do that. There's also a lot of configuration options that will allow you to set the way that you want to look at this. So if you open up the configuration, you'll be able to change the way that the system looks and add new themes if you'd like to. You can change your default font, especially for English, and make the font bigger or smaller as you like to see them. You can also remove a lot of the notes, so I can take away the titles and the notes here if I want to have a text that doesn't have quite as much going on. I can even remove the chapters and the verses, and those chapters and those verses, you'll remember, weren't added really until the 1600s, and so this here is something a little bit more like what maybe Paul or Jesus would have seen without those numbers. But of course they're very, very helpful, so I'm going to turn them all back on. You also notice there's some features to see video and images, and I won't show you those now. But to do that, I'm going to move into Luke, where we've got both some video here in this icon and some pictures. With the pictures, whenever you click on that, you'll be brought up. You'll see a couple of pictures that correspond with this particular passage. But even more fun is the video here, which is going to show you the Jesus film for Luke 1.
I am writing to you, dear Theophilus, an orderly account of the things that have taken place among us, so that you may know the absolute truth about everything.
And wherever you see those icons, you'll be able to watch a video.
I am writing to you.
There's also some audio in some versions. I'm going to switch here to the King James, which we have audio. So this audio icon will show up when there's audio. When I click that, it'll bring up the audio, and I can skip around in that.
Named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph of the...
And then close that back down. So there's audio, video, and images here, as well as all the normal study things that you would like. Now, one of the most common things that people do in studying is to do a search. I'm going to do a quick search here on the word light. Now, when we first came out with this, we were pretty happy with our ability to search throughout the text. You notice that this is taking now 7 or 8 seconds. We're only about halfway through the Bible. The reason for this is that we're not touching the internet, so we don't have big servers and we don't have installed software. So it takes a bit longer to do a search than what we would normally want to see, but still this is something that's secure and allows someone to be able to find and skip around throughout the Bible and do exactly what they need to be able to do. But we've actually come up with a way of making this a lot faster now, and so I want to show you this on the New American Standard. If I wanted to search for something like, say, truth and love, and do a search, it's going to come in just a little bit over a second. So that's a lot better. We've really been able to improve that. We're happy with that. The other thing that we've done is in addition to this study application, I'm going to close this back down and just run this fresh. If I open this back up, what I'll see is the choice between this desktop version that we've been looking at that loads up, as well as a very simplified reader version that just shows me the text clean without anything else. And again, I can turn off, again, the chapters and verses and titles if I want to just see the text in a very, very plain way. But I can add those back on. And the one feature that we do have here is that you do be able to look at the Greek definitions here. And you can also add a second column if you'd like to be able to see two columns side by side. But for the most part, this is about the simplest Bible reading experience that you can have. So we hope that what we're able to do is to take God's Word and bring it into the digital age. Thanks so much.